My name is Jonathan, 11 years old. My question is, what is the best way developing leadership in class or even in school?
Great example. Jonathan, the very best way to show leadership in your classroom is think of the thing that you're the most excited about. Something that you have an interest in, that you're curious about, that you enjoy. Maybe something that you have a talent in. Sometimes, Jonathan, one of the ways we can show leadership is if all of the other kids in class are kind of being silly, we can say, hey, guys, the teacher's trying to talk, let's all be quiet. And you can kind of settle the kids down. Sometimes one of the ways you can show leadership in class is to get your homework done first. And you hand in your homework first, and then you say to some of the other kids who maybe are falling behind a little bit, let them know that you're willing to help them. Another thing you can do is think of after-school programs. Now, obviously, we're in the middle of COVID-19, but we're kind of coming out of COVID-19. So this is, thinking past COVID-19. As we're back in the schools and there's more programs and things that you can do after school, for example, a sports team. That's one area that we can show leadership. And Jonathan, you don't even have to be talented in a sport to show leadership. I am not a good athlete. Like I can't kick a ball, I can't throw a ball. But do you know what I could do if I were on a sports team? I could work the hardest. That I could show leadership in. I could show I'm on time for practice. And I set the example for other people to be on time. I could show I'm going to tidy up my area. I'm going to follow the coach's direction. And by setting that example, again, leadership, so much of it just comes back to example. And when you think about not just those simple things, but also maybe a bigger cause, a bigger thing that's important to you. For example, maybe in your mind, the environment is a cause that's very important to you. Or volunteer work in the community. My son wanted to, pre-COVID-19, wanted to put together some sandwiches for homeless people. And so he put together 50 sandwiches with my wife. And we drove downtown Toronto and handed out the sandwiches. But he was your age. He was 11 years old when he decided to do this. And he says, I'm going to do that. And some of the other kids got inspired by his example. And in fact, a whole group of people in the community wanted to do it a second time because of my son's example. This is adults. Like there's 200 adults that heard about my son's story and wanted to go then do the same thing. And so, Jonathan, you can inspire people by deciding to do something and showing them, I'm not going to wait for you, I'm going to do it. Does that make sense? Good question, buddy.